Tiger was going to be this bridge between all the different races and tribes of humanity.
How are you handling all the adulation?
I honestly don't feel comfortable with it.
Earl taught him the mental toughness to tackle the game of golf. I'm not sure that Tiger was mentally tough enough to handle the pressures of fame.
Everyone is talking about Tiger. It's the new documentary on HBO and aims to be the definitive Tiger Woods biofilm. We are joined now by one of the film's co-directors, Matthew Hamachek. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. So, I guess right away, when I heard the Tiger documentary was coming out, I was getting flashbacks to the earlier stages of this pandemic and this quarantine when we were all obsessed with The Last Dance. And, the similarities between Jordan and Tiger Woods, start there. I mean, these are two guys who have a lot in common, didn't they?
I think that's right. The thing that intrigued me about Tiger initially is that he's been covered for so many years and so much has been written about him. I mean, there's just countless books out there. And then on Thanksgiving night in 2009, when he crashed his car outside of his house in Isleworth, Florida, I think we all realize that we know next to nothing about the guy. And I think that applies to a lot of superstar athletes like Michael Jordan. And, obviously one of the great things about the fact that we're living in sort of the golden era of documentary and sports documentary in particular, is that we get to sort of peek behind the curtain.
You raise a good point. Before then, it was like we knew next to nothing about the guy, but then after that, it seemed like we knew everything there was to know about him. When you set out to make this documentary, was that something you thought of? How do we uncover and tell a story that's not been told before? And what about him that you learned personally was really significant to you?
Well, I think that, when we set out to make it, we were trying to answer a very simple question, which is, who is Tiger Woods? Because I don't think that anybody's really gotten to the bottom of that, because even though we learned all of that stuff after 2009, it was mostly played out in the tabloids. And what I think I wanted to do with Matt Heineman, my co-director, is really get to the bottom of that question. And the thing that really surprised me the most out of anything when we were making the film was that everybody that we reached out to, even people who had been cut out of Tiger's life by Tiger, they were all still fiercely protective of him. And they really wanted to make sure that we weren't going to be doing the tabloid version of his story, and we weren't going to be doing another golf puff piece that the golf media has done so many times.
I think we have Matthew Heineman who joined us, who's also a co-director. Is that right, Matthew, number two?
Yes. How are you?
Thank you for joining us. We're showing a lot of video of Tiger and his dad. I think everyone kind of thought, oh, his dad taught him how to play golf. What was that relationship like? What did you learn about that relationship?
I think we, very much view this story as a, father-son story. And I think we, from the beginning, we're really interested in examining the relationship between Earl and Tiger and, his mother, Tita and Tiger, and, the outsized impact that they both had on shaping this young man or this, young baby really at age 2 onwards. And I think, the expectations that, especially Earl built around his young son was something that he lived with for the rest of his life. And could he really live up to the expectations that Earl had, was a major theme that we explored in the show.
Who else do you interview in the film?
Well, we talked to a number of people. We talked to, Steve Williams. We talked to Pete McDaniel, who is Earl Woods' biographer and a very close friend of the family, in some cases to this day, and his first girlfriend, Dina Govell, Sir Nick Faldo. We really tried to find people that had this sort of front row seat to Tiger's life, unlike all the journalists who've been covering him for all these years, trying to find people that were in the living room and were really there to be witness to all of these important events and get to the bottom of this big question of who is the real Tiger Woods.
Have you guys gotten any feedback from Tiger or heard what he thinks of the film?
We reached out to him early on to see if he'd participate, and he was not allowed to due to a pre-existing relationship with another network. And we have not heard anything since the show premiered, and I don't think we expect to be honest.
I thought it was interesting. There's the clip I think that you show where he's golfing with Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, and you see how, as much as he's like Michael Jordan, he is not social off the golf course. He's not social like Michael Jordan, correct?
I think a lot of the people that knew Tiger best talked about that they said that, that Nike really wanted to make him into the next Michael Jordan, but that the interesting difference between the two of them is that Michael is a very outward sort of type A personality, and Tiger in many ways is an introvert who's very comfortable kind of being by himself. And that part of what backfired about that plan is that they had found somebody who was as talented at their sport, but didn't have the same sort of outward-facing personality.
All right, well, Matthew Hamachek and Matthew Heineman, we really appreciate your time this morning.
You can check out Tiger on HBO, streaming on HBOMax.com. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.